Alright, we're doing another scanlines test on Ninja Turtles. Hopefully this comes through. So I've got this transparency that's covering the screen. I just printed this out on my printer. Nothing special to it. You can see, one thing I want to show is at the very edge of the screen you can see that we actually are losing just a tiny bit of brightness just from the transparency itself. There's nothing printed on this section of the transparency, but it's not perfectly optically clear. But, you know, most of the brightness is coming through. Now, so you can see in the first section, there's no scan lines at all. In the second one, we've got these kind of faint scan lines. This is what I was showing off yesterday. And they really look pretty good to your eye. I don't know if the camera really picks those up super well. And then we can go over to the next section, which will show some darker scan lines. And actually, these ones are coming through on camera much better. And so you can see the difference between the sort of more subtle scan lines versus the stronger scan lines. Now, one thing about this, the lines are pretty well aligned with the pixels, except the thickness of the plexiglass in between the screen and the overlay. If there's a parallax effect, so as I move the camera up and down, you can see that the lines kind of get out of alignment. I do plan on experimenting with pulling the plexiglass off and sandwiching the overlay directly onto it, but that'll be one of my next experiments. And then on this side, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I've got kind of a grid pattern that I've added, and this is to be more of like a CRT shadow mask kind of effect. It's interesting, and I might play with some more patterns like this. Which one of these is actually better? Maybe eventually it's going to come down to personal preference, but it is neat seeing how much you can do and how compelling the effect is with a printed overlay over the top of the screen.